G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the southwest side of the map, we've got Fanky OB playing as the English. His opponent who spawns on the opposite side of the map, Matiz, playing the Rus. This is on after the brand new patch has come through, where we are experiencing a little bit of a decline in the Rus play rate, a little bit of an increase in the English play rate, and it's great to see these two players out here today looking to sort of mix things up a little bit. We got Fanky obviously playing the English. If you're not familiar with Fanky, played a few tournaments so far. It's done relatively well, rank 255 at the moment. Matt is on the other hand. I think he came from SC2, was quite big over there. And sitting currently at rank 95 on the ladder, obviously playing the Rus, so it's always going to inflate things. No, I'm just kidding. But now in the middle of the map, it looks like players have turned their attention towards each other as we see the animation cancelling come out. And I'd just like to say, I talked about this in another game, but like, how cool would it be if there was a cash shop where you could buy items like cosmetics for your units? And imagine if like your scout could have a golden dagger. And like, you're fucking this guy up, but you're fucking him up with like absolute, like you're flexing on him at the same time. It's like, I'm gonna flex and I'm gonna stab. It's like, to me, that seems really cool. Now, I'll be honest, I just want to collect all the gold items as the longest range stab you've ever seen comes in right there. Matt is with the biggest stab you've ever seen. He literally stabbed him from across the map. I'm not sure if you guys saw that. He was here and he killed him right there. Oh my lord, that was a good stabbing right there. But Matt is on the other side of the map. Oh gosh, wrong button. There we go. Going to be opening up with some more scouts, so we can see the first scout already on the way out. Second scout coming out shortly as well. You can see it's just sitting idly at the moment. Jeez Louise. That's look, I'm kind of glad that we don't have golden daggers, because imagine if Mattiz had the golden dagger in that situation. Everyone would have been like, golden dagger is overpowered as fuck, needs to be nerfed. It's got like the longer range. Like, no one ever would have made that stab with a normal dagger. Like, that had to be a golden dagger stab right there. But yeah, I can imagine that probably won't be coming to Age of Empires 4, at least not anytime soon. Personally, you know what? I want to know what you guys think about it. Whether you think that'd be a good idea or not. Because it's something that I've talked about before, sort of cosmetics in AoE 4. And so obviously, like, I guess, you know, this video isn't really about that, but it's more of like a side sort of chat. But yeah, I don't know. I think like a cool little bit of flair for like your units isn't too bad, as long as it's not overpowering. And as long as it's not pay to win, that's the thing. It's got to just be cosmetic. But then you even get like, I don't know, if you guys have played League of Legends, you have some skins, like all the skins are cosmetic, right? But then some of the skins have got like different pixel effects to the others. And so it means that you have skins that are technically not pay to win, but they are kind of pay to win because like their hitboxes look a little bit different. And like, it just, like, as an example, if you're going to play this one character like Veigar in League of Legends, like there's this one skin that's really good for it because the animations for the hitbox on one of the skills don't show until like the last second. And so like maybe you could see something like that in AoE4. So let's not do that. But hey, I'll let you guys know. Let's talk a little bit more about this game. Matt is dropping down the Golden Gate, opening up with plenty of villagers on wood. He's got just enough at the moment to continue villager production. Does actually go not idle, but he gets housed right there for a little bit. No scouts in the transition period. It looks like he's got 4 out on the map, so probably going to be opening up with a professional scout opening here. It's been a while since we've actually seen a professional scout opening, I'll be honest. And that's a good thing because before this patch, we saw a professional scout opening every single game. And now after the patch, we don't. We actually see it. Yeah, it's a lot rarer. I think you're probably going to see it on open maps in different matchups. I feel like against the English, professional scouts is probably a good decision just because you're pretty much guaranteed to get like their hunts. Like they're not going to be contesting their hunts. So you can come in, you can take it, you can take this. Like you're just going to have a secure source of food throughout the game. But now it looks like Matt is going to be hitting that next stage. Yet to make any sales at this point in time. He does actually sell. I don't even know what he did right there. I'm not sure exactly. Oh, he dropped down a wooden fortress. So I feel like he's dropped that a little bit early. But maybe he's actually dropping a stable. Maybe he's not looking to go professional scouts. Here we go. Professional scouts not even coming in as like a thing that people do at the beginning of the game anymore. So we'll have to look and see whether he does it. He's going to be getting out the early knights. Over on the other side, we've got the English dropping down barracks nice and early as well. Does obviously spot out that stable. So great job of scouting right there from Fanky. Got 3 villagers on this council hall. This is quite a delay in this council hall coming up. What is keeping Fanky from aging up this late? Like, what is going on, Fanky? Are you researching like forestry back here? What the heck is? What are you doing, buddy? Mill going to be going back now towards the back of his base as well. So probably looking to gather up these berries, maybe drop a few farms down as well. And going to be able to train spears once he hits the 2nd age. But this is a late age up, man. 5 minutes 30. Normally you see out of the English like a 4 minute 20, 4 minute 30 at most. But Knight's going to be coming out now. This is going to be the first night of the game coming out for Matiz. Matiz is going to be shadowed back all the way by this scout. You can see the scout heading back, going to be following it. At the same time, Village is doing a great job of just repelling the scout of Matiz nice and early. Keep in mind, going up against the English, it can be very difficult to harass their villagers just because their scouts have got, or their villagers have got Strelbora. If you're wondering what Strelbora means, then I learnt today what it actually means. It means string bearer. So they don't have string bearer. They are string bearer. They are Strelbora. And that's why when you click on these little longbows, they say Strelbora. Strelboran. Strelbora. There you go. We still don't know what Abuga means, but I'm going to assume it means like a cross between okay and I will. Like something like that. Because sometimes they'll say like Abuga. I can't move them. But I assure you they do also say Abuga. That's another good one. That's another funny one. But now Fanky, potentially under attack down towards the south. Slowly expanding. He's got the wheelbarrow technology that's going to be coming out for him as well. Slowly building up his mass. And it's so interesting to see how these players play. Because typically the English would be the one on the front foot. Going up against the Rus. But in this situation with the early stable coming out, you can see that he's just really stuck to his own base. And we're also seeing Matiz here going for an H2 archer mass. So double archers out, got the blacksmith out behind things as well. So looking to actually get in a little bit of a lead when it comes to that front. At the same time, do we have professional scouts? No, we do not. No professional scouts coming through yet either. Does have the double tickets. So if he wants to do some sales, he's going to be able to do it. But very curious to see from Matiz the fact that he is yet to add in, any of those real big techs that are so important for the Rus. Typically in the early game, he got out a lot of scouts as well. Keep that in mind. So he's sitting on 4 scouts at the moment. I guess it's not a lot of scouts, but I mean, compared to 1 scout, that's a lot. Looks like a couple of spears out for his opponent. Blacksmith coming down as well. So we're going to be seeing those +1s coming in nice and early. And yeah, from this point in, everybody's just looking like they're hunkering down. Just looking like they're wanting to go towards the future. That's probably the best way to say it. The main issue for Fanky is that he's got resources absolutely everywhere. He's got his berries out the back. He's got his gold mine at the front. And if he's not paying attention, he can potentially lose villages all over. So far, he's been pretty good. And a nice little wall coming up behind his base. I do like this from Fanky. I think this is a really nice wall. Obviously, if he had done some efficient scouting, he would know that he could just stick one wall there, and he'd be absolutely walled off. But yeah, he hasn't actually looked all the way up here yet. This is probably the hardest map to scout on. I would say if you had to, rank maps when it came to their order of scouting, that this would be the hardest map, and just simply because of the stealth forest. So if you want to scout out this stealth forest, like normally when you bring a scout through here, you've got a massive line of sight on it, but because it's a stealth forest, you don't, and so it means you have to double back and triple back multiple times just to get that. But yeah, so far it looks like Matt is going to be continuing to hold in his base, not really showing his hand, so keeping his cards very close to his chest. Triple racks coming out right now. Now, if Fanky did spot that, he would know straight away what is up, but he hasn't gone for it just yet. We see the scout beginning to move out across the map, and a very wise move here from Fanky to drop down this outpost on the front. Makes a lot of sense. So going to be extending out that network of castles, and at the same time going to be protecting his villages. Really smart move. I love this from Fanky. I think this is a great move. Obviously, the alternative is to move or to potentially put it on the back line as well. But, in reality, this is where it's at. But now it looks like he is going to be heading up towards the north. Going to be looking to scout that out. Now, as I said, if he spots the triple oh my god, the triple archery range. He's going to know exactly what is up from Matiz. We can see Matiz with the +1 upgrades here as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually see, is this a triple range siege ram timing? It could be. This could totally be it. The fact that he's like not really playing, not really showing exactly what he's got either. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, he's got the scat out. He's very, very lucky. Oh my god, I thought that those archers were coming forward and they were just going to eat these completely, but you can see at this point in time, right, the difference in mass between these two players, because Fanky, on one hand, really hasn't known what his opponent is up to. So he hasn't known whether he should just be making full longbows, whether he should mix in some pikes, whether he wants to go up to the 3rd age. He doesn't really have any idea because he hasn't been scouting that effectively. But he just scouted very effectively the mass of his opponent, and I wouldn't be surprised at this point to continue to see a push happening from Matiz, as well as a potential ram timing come out from him, as well as some reinforcing on the early knights. Maybe even just some scouts. You know, at this point, it really seems like scouts are very effective at sort of tanking the damage and just forcing your opponent to micro. If you attack move, you are going to get punished against those scouts, and second town center coming down. This is very nice from Matiz. This is early as well, 11 minutes, and this is part of the reason why the Golden Gate is such a great landmark, because, hey, you want to add a second town center? You don't have to stick any villages on stone. Where's that dirty stone mine? There it is. You can see there's look at that. There's not even room to place a mining camp around this stone because he knows he's never going to need it. I mean, he might need it later in the game, but you know what I mean, right? Like, he's just buying all of his stone right here at the Golden Gate. So really smart move from him. Yeah, now going to be looking to potentially push in. We'll take a look and see. Siege Engineering still not researched at this time. Keep in mind, Boyer's Fortitude, that's an age 3 technology, so you won't be seeing that one come through, at least not at this stage. Very, very, very sneaky second town center, though. Now push in, going to be coming through. We've got the 20 longbows coming in versus the 23 archers. Definitely the longbows going to have a much easier time than the archers. Of course, the longbows very close to the town center to fall back to. Also got that network of castles to buff them up. Going to be increasing that attack speed by 25%. So they're going to be absolutely fine. But keep in mind behind this, Matiz has got Fanky on a timer. And Fanky doesn't know about that. So this second town center right here, this is what is on the timer. So if he goes maybe 5 or 6 minutes without adding a second town center or aging up, then he's going to be in a really difficult spot, because you can have a look at the village account right now. You're on 39 villages. Compare that over to the 45 of Matiz, and that's only going to continue to grow. And we actually see an Abbey of the Trinity getting thrown down for Matiz at this point. And so this is where you start to see the power of the Golden Gate. And so if you were to look at the Council Hall, think of this as sort of like a linear bonus, in that it gives you 2 stock standard archery ranges. That's it, and that's it. Nothing else. Whereas this, the Golden Gate, is the gift that keeps on giving. Throughout the game, you're going to continue getting these tickets. You're going to continue having these amazing trades for the rest of the game. And that's where the difference you start to see between these two players exists. Because now you've got things like this that enables this second town center to come out. Whereas, sure, you've got early aggression that comes out of the Council Hall. You've got 300 wood that comes out of this. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's really about what the difference is between these two, and the fact that the Golden Gate, the longer the game goes on, you're going to continue to see this. But now we've got the Abbey of the Trinity going to be completed here. Expect to see Warrior Monks in queue, and there they are, 460 bounty rather, coming out. So he's managed to murder 1 boar. Where's the second boar? I can't even see the second boar. It's got to be... Is there no second boar? Am I blind? I'm blind, aren't I? No, there's not a second boar. Okay, am I blind, or is there no second boar? I don't think there's a second boar. Did he get ripped off this game, or is it just hiding somewhere? Beautiful music, by the way. I think there's no second boar. I'd have to go back and check the game file again. Interesting. Interesting. All right, so Wooden Fortress going to be going down on the front line for Matiz. Give him a fair bit of line of sight here as well. This is going to be very nice for him. Now, keep in mind, I think, is it the Rus that have got that bonus that increases the line of sight? Yeah, here. Increases the sight range of this Wooden Fortress by 6 tiles. So that is a significant difference. So you can get that. Keep in mind, the Wooden Fortress is going to be able to see through the forest, whereas everything else can't. So the Wooden Fortress is going to be able to provide line of sight. Ideally, you want to get these other villages up here, help out a little bit with that. Longbowmen doing their best to tee off on these. Okay, now line of sight is uncovered. relics beginning to get captured as well. That's going to be the first relic picked up. 1, 2, 3, 4 relics in every single corner, and you've got one out in the middle of the map. Horticulture now coming through as well, and Matty is looking pretty decent at this point. 8 archers inside this this outpost, and he's looking pretty strong. Triple barracks going to be coming down now for him as well, so men-at-arm going to be the switch. Have a look at that little men-at-arm with the green little shield right there, and he is looking absolutely swagged out. Now we see that relic getting taken out, rather the warrior monk getting taken out, and the relic on his back going to get dropped down. So this is part of the reason why this nerf to the Rus has really hurt them and really affected them badly. So you start to see things like the nerf to professional scouts has meant that the food source is not as safe, so as a result it means we see farms coming out earlier, which delays the Fortress Age timing, and with a delay, or Castle Age timing rather, not Fortress Age, Castle Age. Sorry, this is Age of Empires 4, not Age of Empires 3. And then, you know, then we also see these warrior monks getting picked off by archers when normally they wouldn't. Like, this warrior monk wouldn't have been here. He picked up a relic, like, where was the relic? Down here, potentially, I think. Oh, there's the boar. There's the boar. It's just in a weird spot on the minimap. Or rather, it's just not on the minimap. So that's the second boar. So, like, picked it up from here, ran to here and died. I mean, he never would have been in this position in the first place because he would be back here. He'd be back at his base. So, yeah, I mean, he's suffering a little bit right there from the most recent nerf. But now going to continue walling up the map, trying to secure up land. Still sitting on this 2-town center. Now, keep in mind, his opponent obviously reaches the 3rd age. He's got the King's Palace out, so it means that he's going to begin closing that gap when it comes to the villager count. So we can see 69 villagers now for Matiz. Nice. And his opponent right now, 56 villagers. So a 13 villager difference between these two players. So Fanky still got a way to go, but his base is looking very nice. You can see all the villagers on food that he's got here. Just absolutely plenty of them. And he's begun walling up. Looking pretty safe at this point. Primary concern is up towards the north here. He's got quite a bit of an open gap here. But he's going to start working on these relics. And this is a rare thing that you get to see. You know, 16 minutes into the game where there's still relics on the map against a Rus player. In fact, there's still 4 relics on the map against a Rus player. One of them has been neutralized down here towards the south of the base of Matiz by the longbows. But other than that, I mean, it's great to see. The delay in speed coming out for these Rus players is significant at this point. Plenty of archers now getting upgraded as well. 30 veteran archers, 14 men-at-arms. These guys are going to absolutely shred. But keep in mind they're going up against the English, and there's always the potential to see the clad armor, aka armor Chad, coming out for the English players as well. Mangonel going to begin rolling out. So, what did you say to me? Jeez, you got a voice on you, don't you, mate? Yes, so Mangonel coming out. It looks like he's thinking about aging up, honestly. He's got that many resources in the bank. I wouldn't be surprised if he drops down a market, looks to trade out a little bit of his food and age up. But it wouldn't be a terrible decision, honestly, going up against the Rus as well. I mean, the worst case scenario, you drop like your what's it called? The palace? The palace of something? No, I'm thinking of like, that's the HRE Palace of Swabia. I'm thinking of, yeah, the Berkshire Palace. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm thinking Berkshire Palace. Was that a knight that went down there? I think that was a knight that went down. A little bit tough to see. Could have been a scout, actually. Yeah, it's a scout that's gone down in the middle of the map. So, unfortunately, didn't really do very much. But, yeah, you could definitely drop, like, your Berkshire Palace right here. It would be a very effective position. You know, control this sacred site, control the middle of the map. You've got your stone mine as well as your gold vein here that is protecting. It'd be absolutely awesome. It'd just be tough to get it down, though. Obviously, you're going up against a Rus player, and now that they've got the wooden fortress here as well, this is going to provide line of sight probably up until here, which means that they'll be able to stop. And it does look like we are going to have the Berkshire Palace going down on the front. A little bit more of a defensive position here, but I still think this is a very good position. You're definitely going to be able to challenge this sacred site with this, so I think it's still achieving the exact same thing. So a very nice move there from Fanky. And I think the fast Imperial with the English is definitely the right way to go. Now, it's not super fast. You know, we're looking at a 20-minute Imperial time here. But it's still pretty decent when you compare, like, how many units he's got out. He knows his enemy is out and about on the map with, you know, aggression. Plenty of units out for him. We'll check in on the villager counts. 86 for Matiz at the moment and 73 for Fanky. So, yeah, players are pretty even at this point in time. And obviously, Fanky going up to the Imperial Age, going to be able to start pushing out a bit of a gap there. Berkshire Palace going to mean that basically his opponent is unable to push into this position, and as a result, it means that he's got the ability to control all of this area. Villagers do manage to make their way away as we see he's adding in many wooden fortresses. Going to be adding in another wooden fortress out on this front. Going to be losing a villager as he tries to put up his own outpost. Doesn't have a lot of luck. And now Matt is going to get forced back from this position. I don't think there's any way he's going to be able to get that wooden fortress up. Not when he knows the Berkshire Palace is there. At least, I think he would suspect that the Berkshire Palace is there. But now going to have to fall back from this front line. You can see the Mangonel actually gets shredded by the triple Springald on the back line. And there's another Mangonel that's in there. But the Berkshire Palace is going to provide great coverage. And look at this. It actually provides pretty much perfect coverage even up towards the north here. This is one of the best Berkshires I think I've seen in a while. This is just very, very well positioned. Really, really good spot, honestly. If you went any further forward, you kind of leave yourself open up towards an attack up here, whereas this is like just absolutely perfect. Once you get the cannon in as well, the cannon in placement is a range of, I think it's 15, which is probably like the longest thing in the game other than the Trebuchet. Trebuchet's got a range of 16. The cannon emplacement's got a range of 15. So, you know, it outranges the bombards or the cannons of your enemy and really gives you a lot of power. But we'll take a look at the upgrades. We'll see exactly what he's got coming in. Looks like he's going for Men-at-Arm tech switch, and this is so smart from Fanky. I love this. This is actually such a smart move. So he's got a huge mass of veteran longbows. He spotted his enemy's Mangonel. He spotted all those Springalds. So how do you go against that? Just go a whole bunch of Men-at-Arms. They can't do anything against it. It's absolutely, what a smart move. So he's added in a huge amount. How many barracks have we got here? We've only got 3 barracks. I'd love to see maybe 4 or 5 barracks get added in, but having a bit of trouble with his gold at the moment is expanding out towards this direction. The wolf going to be harassing him. And both players going to be taking sacred sites at the same time. Not going to be taking that middle sacred site, but instead adding a keep up. Matir's also going up to the Imperial Age right now as well. Already got the double the double siege workshop that is down and plenty of resources in the bank. Take a look at that. He has got so many resources in the bank ready for siege, so I wouldn't be surprised to see double bombard come out of him. And keep in mind, that's going to be discount double bombard as well, just simply because they are next to the high armory. Reduces the cost down by 20%. So let's see what he goes for. He goes for roller shutter triggers. Look how cheap the bombards are, dude. Oh my god, man. God, 800 resources for a bombard? I'll take 3. That is absolutely wild how affordable they are. Now going to be dropping down this keep on the front line. Plenty of units back behind this. Now, he's got 17 men-at-arms. We'll have a look what kind of upgrades he's looking at getting. Actually going to be going for elite men-at-arms himself. So both players going to be going or taking into men-at-arms, appreciating that they are quite a strong unit when it comes to the late game. We are going to see the veteran men-at-arms coming through now for Fanky. I would expect that we have the Imperial or the elite upgrade coming through shortly. You can see the cost of it right there. It's an expensive upgrade, but Fanky's got all the resources he needs for it. And ideally, what I'd just love to see out of Fanky at this point is just a whole bunch of barracks drop down. And that's what we're starting to see. So he's dropping down 1 barracks. I'd love to see 7. Drop down 7, Fanky. There's another one. 2nd barracks. 3rd barracks. He's listening. He's listening. He's doing it, children. Dropping down more barracks. So doing the right thing. And you can see all the resources he's got in the bank just doesn't have enough to keep up with his economy. Unfortunately, the production not being particularly strong, but manages to get out of Trebuchet. Curious decision. He does know about the castle of his opponent. And you can see, I love the way that the Warrior Mog just sits right in on the edge. He knows about the Berkshire Palace. He knows he can't get too close. So does the right thing. Trebuchet going to be firing off. First rock going to be going down on the keep. Looks like a little bit of a longbow raid up towards the east here. Going to get cleaned up by these elite men-at-arms, unfortunately, as well as the archers on the back line. And don't these men-at-arms look absolutely awesome with their shields? I love the gold on them as well. All the elite men-at-arms have got the gold on them. In fact, I think all the elite units have got gold on them. They're going to be chasing that away now. We'll actually follow them, and I want to get a little bit of a look at the front, because they had a green shield before. Do they still have that green shield? It does look like they've got that green shield still. But going into Men-at-Arms as the Rus player, I don't think you've got any unique techs as the Rus player against, or making Men-at-Arms. I don't think you've got any unique techs. Obviously, as the English, you've got a really good one, Armor Clad, which buffs up your armor by 2. But other than that, I don't think there's anything. Correct choice here with the Trebuchet. So the Trebuchet going to be able to outrange the Springalds. So you can see the Springalds with 13.5 range. Trebuchet with 16 range. So it has that extra little bit of range. Fanky, got to be careful here because the Springalds going to come in from this area where there's no line of sight. He's going to be able to move in and potentially snipe them down. Look how much range they've got on them. And you can see him unpacking it, not having enough time right there. So that really just comes down to how good the Rus Springalds are. Being able to fire all the way from there back to the trebuchet that was over here. A huge range. Absolutely huge range. Fanky now beginning to get that mass up, though. Also dropping a castle down here on this southern gold mine. Very smart move. Also looking to secure up this northern gold vein as well. But keep in mind, his opponent typically going to be using his gold trickle compared to Fanky, who's actually going to be needing to mine gold. Elite Army Tactics also going to be coming in now. So players definitely gearing up for this final battle. My money is... Oh, I'll tell you what, Mattis has definitely got a lot more out here than his opponent. But I really like the armor clad. And I suspect it will make quite a difference. Bombard's going to be able to come in, manage to take that out. You see them fall back as well. Got to be careful against these Springalds. These guys do a lot of damage. So it works out there. They do 120 damage, 480 health, but keep in mind there's 12 armor. So it's going to take 5 hits to actually kill a Bombard. So we'll need to... I think you need one more Springald. Now we see the counter trebs coming out for Matthias. So he's not opting for Bombards. He's just going straight for the trebs as well. Now we have a little bit of a push coming out. Now, Elite Men at Arms, you can see that they've got 8 for 8 on their armor. Not particularly well upgraded. Doesn't actually have... He's only got the +1 armor at this stage in time. But now we've got Men at Arms firing off, and Streltsy are actually going to be out here on the back as well. This is going to be a serious problem going up against full Men at Arms. The Men at Arms are going to have a serious problem going up against Streltsy. These guys are absolutely going to crush this battle. And this is a difficult position. This is part of the reason why the Rus such a strong civilization in this late game. They've got a beautiful just composition that they can fall back on in any difficult times. So even when you've got like Men at Arms like this, which are just beginning to overpower the front, the Streltsy are going to be able to come through. As long as they've got that front line that enables them not to move or not to need to move, they're going to be fine. Trebuchet's trying to get away. Streltsy's going to be able to come in, looking to potentially clean this up. We'll head into the cinematic mode as we begin to watch the Streltsys trying their best to melt away those Men at Arms and having an absolutely great time. You can see how fast the health is falling on these units. Streltsy's looking absolutely beautiful with that quick time upgrade as well. Going to mean that they get up to that extra stack super high and super fast. And now the Men at Arms continuing to try their best. It looks like he's going to be able to clear out the castle on the front line, but Fanky really having a bit of a difficult time pushing through here. The Men at Arms mass is continuing to build though, and you can see it on the back line coming in. Ideally, I'd love to see him back on the Streltsys here and really forcing his way through, but the Men at Arms continuing to overwhelm at this point in time. Fanky, is he in a decent position right now? What is going on? There's no way that he's going to be able to win this, surely. Slowly but steadily, the Streltsy look to be overwhelming the Men at Arms. It's difficult to see just because of the way that the forest is. I'd love to have an option to turn off the forested trees, at least as a spectator. But yeah, now unfortunately, those elite Men at Arms are going to be chasing down the Men at Arms of his opponent. You can see these guys have got similar statistics, but not having those +3 really hurts. And Fanky now going to be falling back. He's got the triple bombard out at this point. But he's sitting on 154 population. Compare that to the 90. And we can see that he's actually now hit max bounty level as well, Matthias. But he's going to be looking to potentially switch things up. Actually, no. Probably just going to be going for that Streltsy. Hasn't actually got double time. I do take that back. So we'll be probably looking to tech into it. A very smart choice. But yeah, Streltsy, one of the best units in the game. I absolutely love these units. They are incredible. Hand cannoneers. But they do also benefit from the chemistry upgrade, which appears to be researched. So doing up to 42 damage now. I think they start off at 35. But against Bombards, though, keeps are going to be questionable decisions. Springald's doing a pretty decent job. You can see how much distance these guys are able to fire, managing to take out one of those Bombards. Mangonel wants to move up, but having a bit of a tough time, and now up towards the north side or in the center of the fight, we're having plenty of these Men at Arms looking to surround these units, but the Streltsy are just holding steadfast. The Keep manages to get up. Trebuchet is going to be unpacking as well. Look at all the reinforcements now coming in for Matthias. He is looking incredibly strong and overwhelming his opponent completely. I don't think that there's any way that Fanky's going to be able to stop this at this point. The Golden Shield Men at Arms are just going to be continuing to wreak havoc, and the Streltsy behind them going to be looking incredibly good. Trebuchets as well here. Managed to take down that Berkshire Palace. And all that seems left is the Bombard. So a very, very solid attempt right there from Fanky to try and take the game. He was very close. But now, unfortunately, too many Men at Arms, too many Bombards, and too many Streltsy coming out. Well, not too many Bombards. He doesn't have any Bombards, but You can see the amount of damage. Look at the Springlets, just how well. This is the dream Rus late game combination. Streltsy, Men-at-Arms, and Springlets. And good game gets called. Fanky taps out. Matt is victorious. Fellas, if you're watching this on YouTube, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this casted game. These guys obviously hit it off very, very well. Rus, you can definitely tell that they are not the powerhouse that they used to be. Still an absolute menace in the late game. But when it comes to the early game, a lot slower than what they used to be, and a lot more counterplay is going to be potentially coming your way if you're picking up Rus. We'll take a look at the village account quickly. You can see that Fanky eventually caught up to Matthias, so wasn't on that timer. But and then for the military population, you can see just some better fights coming through for Fanky, or for Matthias, as well as throwing away a couple of those longbows when he probably could have used them. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.